It's your weekly F1 wrap up with Jess. Let's get into it. This week, we are discussing the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Now, this Grand Prix was not short of drama, that's for sure. I think it's become pretty clear from the first two races that Red Bull have picked up where they left off in 2022 and are going to run away with the championship yet again. This week, they claimed another 1-2, with Sergio Perez taking out the win and their golden boy Max Verstappen coming in second. This is a little bit different to what we're used to, but Max's second place is nothing to be scoffed at, except if you're his father. The two-time world champ was forced to make up 13 places after a technical issue meant he was unable to finish qualifying in Q2. He was able to maintain his standing at the top of the championship thanks to the fastest lap point, which he stole really, from his teammate on the final lap of the Grand Prix, despite what the team asked him to do. But, I mean, ultimately, are we even surprised? Max does what Max wants to do. And after all, he's going for his third title. Can you really blame him for wanting to secure his third or the lead in the championship yet again? Now, on top of Red Bull's dominance, another team has emerged as a possible contender for the constructors this season. While I don't think it is likely to occur, I think they're going to give Ferrari and Mercedes a run for their money for P2. And that is Aston Martin. They're the championship contender that no one, not even themselves, saw coming. Fernando Alonso has taken out the third and final podium position in the opening 2 rounds of the season, but he's done it in dramatic fashion. At the conclusion of this week's Grand Prix, and after the podium trophy ceremony had concluded, the Spaniard was awarded a 10-second penalty for failing to correctly serve a 5-second penalty he had been awarded earlier in the race for incorrect position in the grid box. With the implementation of this penalty, Alonso was set to drop to 4th, losing out on his 3rd place, allowing George Russell and the Mercedes camp to sweep in and claim the 3rd place and their first podium of the season, even though he didn't get to participate in the podium ceremony. But it couldn't be that simple, could it? The stewards had over 35 laps between when the 5-second penalty was served at Fernando Alonso's pit stop to the conclusion of the race to inform Aston Martin and Alonso that the penalty was incorrectly served, on the basis that the jack should not have touched the back of the car. And understandably, this didn't sit well with the team. They inevitably challenged it, and it was overturned by the stewards. Alonso was able to celebrate his 100th F1 podium, and George and Mercedes were forced to give back the trophy, although they seemed to be in good spirits about it. But the drama didn't end with Aston Martin. Ferrari keep doing what they do best and continue making questionable strategy choices. McLaren, well, despite a miraculous qualifying session from Oscar Piastri, which saw him starting 8th on the grid, he was unable to secure his first F1 points, given that he had an opening lap incident with Pierre Gasly and his Alpine, and the damage from that resulted in having to replace his front wing at the end of that lap. And unlike Max Verstappen, he was not able to come back with a dramatic comeback. McLaren's issues did not end there, and was compounded when Lando was forced to pit at the end of lap 2 with the exact same issue, and having to replace his front wing. This meant both McLarens were at the bottom of the pack, fighting Logan Sargent and his Williams for 15th place. As a McLaren fan, that hurt. The battle for 15th has also raised a lot of questions, not only about the performance for the team, but also the standing of drivers within the team. Now stay with me, because you're probably thinking, oh God, where is she going? But for the last 2 years, we've seen team orders benefit Lando. His former teammate, Daniel Ricciardo, my fellow Aussie, was consistently told throughout his stint at McLaren that he was not to overtake Lando and that he was to protect Lando if he was struggling. He was to protect him from being overtaken. Maintain position, no matter how bad Lando was driving. And I love Lando, don't get me wrong. But he was not always on his best. But it appears Lando may have been replaced as the team's golden boy and priority, with team orders in that race going to Oscar, and Lando being told to let him through. And you're probably thinking Oscar was able to get Sargent and Lando wasn't, or Oscar was quicker and should have been let through. And I hear you, I really do. But there are so many instances where Danny Rick was quicker or more than capable of gaining a position or two, possibly even more. But he was told by the team to sit tight and maintain his position, which has led me to believe that there may have been a changing of the guard over at McLaren. For what reason? Who knows? Is it because Lando's sick of driving a tractor every week? Or maybe he wants to overcome his allergy to winning races? I don't know, but I guess we'll have to see. That's it for today. This has been your weekly F1 wrap up with Jess. If you're not already, please give me a follow on TikTok or Instagram. It's been a pleasure having you. If you'd like to send me any questions or have anything that you want to know more about, please feel free to shoot me a DM or anything. Until next time, thanks guys.